Hello everyone, it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astrologist. Welcome to Star Codes. This is the podcast where we look at an upcoming event in the stars and numbers. And in this case, we're focusing on the hidden mysteries of the number 9 and the new beginnings energy that are coinciding, almost like colliding in order to create a huge breakthrough in 2025. So the number 9 defines our numerological year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 for 2025 adds up to 9. And the new beginnings are represented by several major planets changing signs, 2 of which embody a major shift from the Piscean to the Aquarian age, and that would be Neptune and Saturn moving from Pisces, the sign that represents the 2,000-year age we're currently in, and into Aries, the first sign. Of course, Pluto in November of last year, 2024, moved into Aquarius already for 20 years. So that already set off a major shift. And it's just going to continue in terms of the other planets. Now, Uranus is also moving into Gemini, which is huge because Uranus loves Gemini. Uranus is an air sign planet, being the ruler of Aquarius. Pluto just moved into Aquarius, so Uranus and Pluto will be in a trine to each other, which is very, very fortunate. It's also fast moving energy. And finally, Jupiter moves into Cancer, the sign that Jupiter is exalted in. When a planet moves into its sign of exaltation, it elevates the planet. So this new beginnings energy is synchronized beautifully all year long with an endings energy. And that was epitomized on January 11th when the Lunar Nodes, the North and South Node, moved into new signs. They change signs about every 18 months or so, 19 months. And that means that the eclipse cycles will now mostly take place in Virgo and Pisces. So Virgo is where the South Node is, and Pisces is where the North Node just moved into. And that means we will be reflecting on Virgo matters, which are health-related, healing-related, much more reflective, much more accepting. And then the Piscean energy, where the North Node is, which is where we're heading, is all about compassion and unconditional love and a galactic sense of belonging. For all of us, the Piscean energy is literally ending and beginning at the same time. So the Piscean age is ending, and then the North Node is reminding us what it is, what are the gifts that we are taking with us. So then comes in the number 9, the number of completion. It's the final single digit from 1 to 9. It has all the wisdom of the previous 8 numbers. So it is like a culmination number. It's a number of celebration, of release, of endings to prepare us for the new cycle that then starts numerologically in 2026, where we'll be in a 10-1 universal year. So we're finishing this year collectively what we began 8 years ago, and using it to be of service, using it in a compassionate way. So we're releasing beliefs that no longer help us move forward. We're releasing even people who may be keeping us stuck in old ways, and we're feng shuiing our life. We're releasing and cleansing. And so it's a real testing year of courage and strength. And the shadow side of 9 is to guard against being discouraged or feeling dissipated, especially emotionally, and resisting the urge to let go, or resisting the ability to listen to others, because one of the major themes of the number 9 is the ability to listen. That's how we are compassionate. So we're embracing endings, we're celebrating successes, we're leading from our hearts. So we're making room for a rebirth. And 9 is about that transformational rebirth, very similar to the planet Pluto. The planet Pluto also epitomizes that magnetic sense of truly going to the bottom of things, like Scorpio, Pluto rules Scorpio, and Scorpio is known to get to the truth, uncovering things that were unseen or unconscious. And 9 also covers this transformational aspect. In fact, if you look at the first letter for Pluto, P, and you look at the number 9, they are literally reflections, mirror reflections of each other. They carry a big head at the top, which is either a head of ego or a head of wisdom. So it is up to us to release the ego, to transcend the ego. When we do that, emotions come up, and 9 is in the 3-6-9 triad in numerology, and that triad covers our feelings, our heart, creativity, love, self-expression. And when we begin to let go, or prompted to let go, surprising things can come up, because all the buried and suppressed emotions are suddenly no longer hidden. They're becoming visible, they are being felt, and that can be challenging. However, when we start clearing and cleansing and purging what appears, we are profoundly healed and freed. So going back to the nodes, the lunar nodes moving into Pisces and Virgo, that means our eclipses starting in March and April are going to mostly be in those two signs, Virgo and Pisces, and those are the signs of healing. Those are the signs of letting go. Pisces is the final sign. Virgo is the sign that governs the macro and the micro, earth matters, health, anything to do with herbs and essential oils and massage and reflexology and any kind of energy healing and new forms of healing. All of those are covered and profoundly going to shift us as we turn more and more into the natural cycles and the bounties of earth. So emotionally, that's represented through forgiveness and compassion and intense listening. So emotionally, we're not just listening to others, we're listening to our heart first and foremost. Compassion and wisdom reside in the heart. They are accessed through the heart. The divine is always there, something to be grateful for. And gratitude, if there's any wonderful feeling to have, it is gratitude for those things and those people and those experiences that have happened to you. When you give gratitude, even for the most minute situation or experience that you've had or person who you've come across. Like today, I was at the store, I was getting some salt for the upcoming snow that we're having here in the Northeast, and I was at a news store. I just recently moved to this area and it didn't have a card that you use for getting discounts, and the cashier asked the person who was next in line, really nice man, whether he would allow his card to be used by giving his phone number, and he ended up giving the phone number to the cashier so I could get whatever discount I was qualified for. So again, that was just a surprising, unexpected, lovely, uplifting moment that was something to give gratitude for. And these things can happen when you are in that state and you are receptive and open and kind and always looking to support and uplift and find the good. There are those energies that then return to you as you give the gratitude. And this will be a big theme this year as the shadows come up, because the self-reflection and introspection and healing are absolutely tremendous this year. Now, in our society, we're not often shown or taught how to deal with endings, how to deal with letting go. Many people see endings as to be avoided or as tragic, and we go through endings all the time. So that's a natural part of growth. So it's like pushing away nature, something that is natural. And if you think about a garden, without pruning, without weeding, there's no room for those free new shoots to come up. So remembering that really helps. That is the innate wisdom that we have that helps us feel warm, supported, and secure, even when things are out of sync. And ask also what needs to come to a close. how can I accept that a culmination or ending is happening in a graceful way with gratitude and seeing it more as a graduation? So if you remember those G words of graceful, gratitude, graduation, and then suddenly it comes as a liberation, as a release. The liberation is the release. It is the letting go. So we're being set free of an old pattern or a negative habit or a job that we don't feel aligned with or a relationship dynamic that we don't want to partake in anymore. And we want to observe that and be aware of that and listen and be receptive. And at the same time, we are there in a compassionate way, present with others. So we join together in discussing and learning and observing and rising above and transcending. So 9 is truly about surrendering and letting source, letting God in, letting go and letting the divine guide us. And that is where miracles truly occur. So raising your vibration by rising to the occasion is accomplished by letting go of every moment and letting go what you identify with, letting go of your identity with something. Your identity is falling away as you just observe from neutrality. And that's when a whole new reality emerges for you because you're transforming now from the inside out. 9 is, again, about that transformation like planet Pluto. It is about letting go of our identity so we reach neutrality, where every moment provides us with the answer and every moment provides us with an opportunity for a fresh experience. And as you let go, then you experience that transcendence. So whenever we're confronted by release, by endings, by letting go, our shadow side emerges. And the 9 has a very strong connection to healing your shadow. It is really the deepest journey. And the reason 9 is so connected to our shadow is because it's the final single digit. So it's the final moment of the 9-year cycle where we are able to confront and heal our shadow. So facing our shadow is a lifelong journey. And what you're letting go of now will bring up old feelings that you may have buried, and this year you're allowing that shadow side to emerge. You're rising above it, you're stepping into the next level, and that requires going into the depths, because to experience moving up, we have to usually go down and dig first. To build the actual building, the house, we need to dig into, go down first and lay the foundation. And that's what we're doing now. So if there's any kind of visual you can have about 9, it is that to experience moving up, you usually need to go down into the depths first. And as you descend, you'll find those areas of your life that have been hidden from your consciousness, right? As we go down and dig up, we can dig up things. We find stuff in the earth, right? As the metaphor, the digging up of things, right? So these are hidden treasures and they lead to your ultimate growth. And so you want to embrace this process. You want to welcome the shadows. You want to refrain from pushing away what appears just because you don't like it. Well, that's okay. You don't have to judge it. It just appears for you to deal with. If you're digging into the ground to prepare for the building of a building, you don't just stop because you don't like what you're seeing. You need to really face what appears and don't be afraid of your shadow. And you'll find something valuable and you'll find something meaningful that will take you to the next level. So also refrain from escaping into work, avoiding the shadow by becoming a workaholic or whatever you might do to just not face up, right? So listen to what's coming up so you can let it go and you'll feel so good. And collectively for us, beyond the personal level, there is aspect of humanity that will come up that is a shadow side. And that's also because we're moving into the Aquarian age now in a big way, and Uranus is moving into Gemini. Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, is moving into Gemini, another air sign, and that will really speed up technological advances. And so the cost of our technological advanced mindset is that we're out of touch with the cycles of life, the cycles of the moon, the yearly cycles. And it's really, really important to be in touch with those cycles, because we can have both. We can have the advances in technology merged with being in tune with the cycles of life, right? Meaning the harmony can be there between technological advancement and the natural cycles. And it's a fundamental shift now that we are going to be exploring and accepting on the deepest level. So harmony with nature has not been our MO for a long time. It's been pushed into the shadows because it was thought to be also against certain religious doctrines, like the monotheistic doctrine, where there's only one truth and one size fits all. And so the natural rhythms were, in a way, castigated out. They were demolished in the name of conquering nature. And we're needing to let that go now, because we can conquer the cycles of nature by imposing our will, and that's certainly been going on. But it actually is not true that that is possible. We will suffer as a result as we alienate ourselves from natural cycles in our life. So we are out of tune, we're out of sync, and we don't get the meaning that we could, and the pleasure of aligning with nature and the natural cycles by appreciating them. So being aware of these cycles of life is really the big fundamental shift. And so being in the Aquarian age really does favor astrology and numerology, all those beautiful divination arts that help us get in tune with nature, especially the ones aligned to natural cycles like astrology and numerology, aligned to the cycles of the planets, the cycles of the moon, the 13 lunation cycles a year, the 13 phases of Venus a year. Those are all incredible cycles. The nodes going every 18, 19 years, going through the whole zodiac and defining where our eclipse cycles are. Those are very important cycles. So that's just the beginning. That's just, overall, you have personal cycles to you. You have your Saturn cycle, your Uranus cycle, which is also very important. Of course, your Jupiter cycle, and of course, all the lunation cycles that are in all the 12 houses of your chart. Those all need to be paid attention to. So this is where we're heading at this time due to the astrology and numerology. And to support you with that awakening, I have a beautiful free masterclass, and it's all about how to master your stars. And you can watch it at spiritualmasteryclass.com. It's a free online training. It really will help you take your power back, because we look at the secrets to spiritual mastery, the true meaning of your rising sign, your ascendant, and the important difference between individuality and uniqueness, how your natal sun and natal moon have a profound impact on how you live an abundant, healthy, happy, pleasurable life, and how to instantly connect with spirit, source, and many more secret tools. And you can get instant access at spiritualmasteryclass.com. So enjoy that. Have a beautiful week, a beautiful year. I'll see you next week in our next Star Codes podcast. Lots of love.